All right, dressing up. So part of this Samhain celebration I didn't mention earlier was that you would actually dress up to confuse any of these dead spirits that were wandering around so they didn't, get you. People would light bonfires, they'd wear some type of costume, usually made of animal skin, kind of weird looking. And that's not really a thing in the Bible. Like any time a demon comes up in the Bible, it's always like a spirit. It never has a physical body. It'll possess a physical body of a person or of an animal, but there's no account in the Bible where a demon is just like there in like a physical form and we see it, it's like red and it has horns and all these different things. It's just a spirit. So there's not, I don't want you to ever think this is an evil walking around, because evil is always just a spirit. If you see a person, but they look weird, that's a person made in the image of God. So no need to dress up to scare away these spirits. On the other side of it, for whatever reason, it became a custom on All Hallows Eve for religious people to dress up, but not in animal skins, but they would dress up in white robes or cover themselves in ashes, and this would motivate people to pray for the dead. We're going to talk about that when we talk about trick-or-treating, because it kind of comes out of nowhere. But both of these celebrations, which ended up falling on the same day, eventually included dressing up for different reasons, but that is where the dressing up part of Halloween comes from, and they kind of get funneled together. If we fast forward to the late 1800s, America saw a huge increase in Irish folks immigrating in. A lot of you probably know a bit more about that than I do, and they brought in a lot of these traditions with them, whether it was religious or whether it was on the pagan side. And in the 1930s or so, 40s, 50s, this whole Halloween celebration became a lot more domesticated. It became a lot more kid-friendly, because if there's one thing parents will spend money on, it is their children. And I think companies realize, they're like, okay, how can we make a bunch of money for ourselves? I got it. What if we sell costumes that a child has to dress up in? Not adults, but the children. Because guess what? Those children are still growing. And when the holiday comes around next year, the parents are going to have to buy a second costume for their child, because the child will have outgrown this last costume. And those parents don't want to hear their children complain, and those parents don't want to feel like bad parents because they left their child out. So they're going to have to buy a costume for their child again next year. And you multiply that by how many children that family has, and we're all going to be rich. Woohoo! Yeah. That's pretty much how I envision this conversation going. Do you notice this pattern of kind of you manipulate the masses into doing something because of greed? That is where a lot of things in Halloween come from. And that's where the dressing up comes from and why it's so kid-friendly now.